Bitcoin went up 690 million%. And you used to be able to buy for one Bitcoin, you could have got 2,000 Ethereum. And now you can only get 17 or 12. So like, you know, Ethereum murdered Bitcoin's returns. Bitcoin murdered everything else's returns. And now like Microin murdered both of them. So it's, if you're still sitting in cash, you really should consider crypto, because when it goes up, it's going to outperform everything. Everybody, Richard Hart here. I own the world's largest diamond. You don't, and I don't care how hard you work and how hard you save and how good of a person you think you are. You ain't never going to have the world's biggest diamond, because it's mine. I have it, and there's only one. It's called the Hex.com diamond. I renamed it. It used to be called the Enigma diamond. I raised $27 million for charity, and I grew up poor. So screw all you guys out there that think you're better than me. You're not. And I make people rich. By the way, you were talking about scammers earlier. You want to know a lot of time you can tell someone's trying to scam you? Well, where do they get your money? Do they want you to buy their course? I know that's a sore subject probably. Do they want you to like buy something from them? Is there a way to give them money?
Yeah.
I dare you to find a way to give me money. You can't.
Right.
There's no shopping cart. There's no address. You cannot give me your money. So sorry, guys. Medical research charity that focuses on longevity, but really it means that you have to cure everything. So if you want people to live longer, you have to cure cancer and heart disease. Those kill 80% of people. You have to cure basically everything if you want people to live longer. It's the same foundation that Vitalik's donated something like $8 million to. Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX has donated, I think, 50 grand to. Tons and tons of people donated money to, perhaps because they were getting free coins from pulsechain.com. So I made a fork of Ethereum where everyone gets free coins on a new chain. It just works. You don't have to do anything. We're trying to get mainnet out. So we're close. It's just software takes time. And that was, you know, really good for mining. So and then I just started like a mining farm. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just double clicked in the exe and Bitcoin would come into my computer every once in a while. I'm like, oh, this is cool. You get 50 Bitcoin every once in a while. Well, now 50 Bitcoin is like
it's $1 million.
I think it's $1 million.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money now. But back then it was 50 cents. So back then it was not $1 million. It was $25. So bragging about mining Bitcoin in 2011 is like bragging about having $25. It matters how long you held, much more than when you got in. A lot of people thought they were smart, sold to 2x, sold to 4x. Yeah, I made a cryptocurrency called Hex. It went up 10,000x. So a nice little bit I do is I'm like, you could have sold it on a double, or 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 on a double. It doubled 13 times.
Yeah,
that's not fair that you can shove your thumb up your butt, pay half the tax rate, and make more than anyone else in the history of mankind has ever made.
Yeah.
But it's fact. The issue is crypto invalidates so much of the business stuff because you are not going to be able to outperform crypto. You've got an 80, 90%. I mean, like Bitcoin went up to 70K. Now it's 20K. Ethereum went up to 5K. Now it's 1.3K. Hex went up to 60 cents. Now it's 3 cents. And so you have the opportunity to buy a massive dip, and these things have product market fit. They have fundamentals. If the shit hits the fan, they will become even more valuable, because if governments start seizing people's money in like a World War III kind of environment, where are you going to be able to escape to? Oh, you got gold teeth? Yanked. You know, oh, you got art? Yanked. Oh, you got land? Well, it's blown up and you're afraid to be there now. So it's like, it's a wonderful, it's great that cryptocurrency makes mad gains, but it's also great that it's censorship resistant and truly no one else can take it from you. Like now, if you keep the keys in your head and someone beats you with a wrench, they will get it, but just don't keep your keys in your head. Like, I don't know my keys, so you can beat me all you want. I don't know. It's like, good job, guys. Your gains all suck. Like a monkey outperforms you. Like literally the S&P 500 native index at BlackRock craps on all of your think you're smart efforts. You all actually suck. You're all basically crappy middlemen. So with few exceptions. I mean, it depends. There are some exceptions, but they are very few. It can really change the world.
Yeah.
Like there ain't many things that can actually change the world, and cryptocurrency and medical research are them. Maybe AI. So if you ain't crypto, AI, or medical research, you're not changing the world, pretty much. So, you know, what what makes money good? What makes a money? Is it durable? Is it divisible? Is it recognizable? Is it transportable? And does it retain its value or increase in value?
Right.
It does all those things, it's going to make an amazing money. And right now, the dollar doesn't do those things. 90% of its value was lost in 2 generations. Why? Because they just keep printing it like it's a joke. They print it like it's a joke. No one needs your money. Then go get new money fresh off the press from the government. They don't need yours. And so is that fair to everybody? Is it fair that you steal the value of everyone's savings? Everyone who's ever saved $1 has had their money straight stolen from them through counterfeiting. But wait, Richard, it's not counterfeiting. What's the difference? Who gets to spend it? That's the only difference. Cryptocurrency solves a lot of that. How often is your bank's website down? All the time. How often is Bitcoin and Ethereum down? Almost never. How often is Bitcoin and Ethereum going down? Occasionally, but usually it's massively up. So, Bitcoin went up 690 million%, and you used to be able to buy for one Bitcoin, you could have got 2,000 Ethereum. And now you can only get 17 or 12. So Ethereum murdered Bitcoin's returns, Bitcoin murdered everything else's returns, and now my coin murdered both of them. So it's, if you're still sitting in cash, you really should consider crypto, because when it goes up, it's going to outperform everything. There's nothing in the history of mankind that has ever performed as well as cryptocurrency. And there is unlikely to ever be anything that ever performs as well again, because once you reach the top of your S-curve, this is the reason Bitcoin's gains aren't as good as they used to be. So Bitcoin went from 3,800 in the COVID dip up to 70,000. Ethereum went from 88 in the COVID dip up to 5,000. Well, that's the difference between a 20x and a 60x. Big difference. So you got an extra 3x by holding Ethereum. And now Ethereum doesn't even blow up the environment anymore. And so now there's less issuance. It's 0.5% of your issuance, where at Bitcoin is 4 times higher. Store of value has more value in it. So tautologically, things that you use to exchange value will always be worth less than the values themselves, because it's a proxy for rare things, goods and services, time. Being store of value is worth 10 to 100-fold more than being a transfer network. Transfer networks are, relatively efficient and relatively cheap already. So there's diminished upside from replacing them. But stores of value, like gold as a financial instrument, is worth 10 times Visa plus MasterCard plus PayPal plus all that crap. Hex attacks, printed cash is only maybe 5 trillion. Time deposit cash is like 7 trillion. So it's a larger market. So Hex does time deposits and accidentally does all these other things better than Bitcoin. It's more secure. With hash rate security, you're hey, Ethereum literally has no hash rate now, but seems to be working great. So guys, where's the parade of imaginary horribles? Explain to me how, hash rate equals security. They don't know anything about software. You're the biggest problem all these currencies have is inflation bugs. Does hash rate address those? No? Okay. Maybe you don't know nothing about security. Maybe go learn about it, Yeah, the majority of gains in Hex come from just the USD appreciation, which is totally unrelated to you locking it. So if you buy it and you don't lock it, the number goes up, cool, you made money. You didn't have to lock it at all. If you did want to lock it, make extra interest and get gains on your gains, then you can, stake for anywhere from a day to 5,555 days, which is cool because my world's largest diamond is 555.55 carats. So it's a shout out to the Cuatro Cinco Club. We got a lot of guys with 5555 tattoos. And we've got so many people with 15-year stakes that you wouldn't believe. I'll let you guess it. What do you think the average stake length is in Hex on average? I think it's 7.9 now. Yeah. To cancel out all the guys that have 1-year stakes, and you can have a 1-day stake. To cancel out all the guys that have 1-year stakes and have an average of over halfway to 15 years, that's insane. You're just wow. There's no financial product that I'm aware of in history where people have proven their belief as firmly. I don't see people getting bank tattoos.
Right.
So basically all cryptocurrency is an Excel spreadsheet that lives on the internet. You need your password to spend your money. and they inflate to keep the network safe. Bitcoin inflates at about 1.7%, Ethereum inflates at about 0.5%, and Hex inflates at a maximum of 3.69%. But the difference is, because the average stake length is 8 years, that inflation comes out 8 years from now. So the inflation now is extremely low because it only happens at the end of a stake. And so if you want to earn the new Bitcoin that gets minted into existence out of thin air, the inflation, you have to go blow up the environment and do proof of waste. Well, if they were smart, you would just turn the miners off and buy the coins instead of mining your own at a loss. So there really is never a reason to mine at a loss that I'm aware of, unless you're embezzling or something. So the negative externality of Bitcoin miners destroying the environment and dumping the Bitcoin price to pay for that pollution, they literally buy the pollution. They're like, here, electricity company, I need megawatts of electricity. Here's money I got from dumping the Bitcoin price. Please go hurt the environment for me so I can generate heat with these things that I bought from some third, offshore company that also sucks. So the mining companies suck, miners suck, it all sucks. Ethereum just got rid of them. They're like, hey, we can do this with proof of stake. We don't need you guys. Go away. So we're not going to inflate to dump the currency. We're going to inflate a little bit to reward people for staking to maintain consensus instead of burning the environment to maintain consensus. And it's working fine. And we're doing the same thing with Pulse Chain. So we don't need to blow up the environment.